Hey, it's Tina Forsyth. So I am fresh back from Suzanne Evans' Be the Change event last week, which was an all-around awesome, great time. And for the first time ever, I actually sponsored a booth at that event. I haven't sponsored a booth at any event before, actually. So I wanted to share with you today in this video a little bit of my, kind of lessons learned, if you will, what that experience was like for me and for the business. And just be able to share with you a little bit of that kind of behind the scenes, if you will. Because really, this is the first time that we've had a booth at an event like this. And for me, I wanted to do it for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, because we are launching a new division of the business, right? This was a little bit of a coming out party, if you will, for us. And I knew it would be that. It was one of the reasons we wanted to do the booth and such too. As many of you know, we have our online business manager certification and training division of the business, and now we have a new division of the business, which is really geared towards entrepreneurs to help them automate their growth, essentially, in their business, systems team, Infusionsoft, all kinds of fun things, right, that come into play there. And so this was a little bit of a coming out party, in a sense, for us, right? Which was really exciting. And plus I was also part of the resource panel, which spoke on the last day and had the opportunity to be on stage with Suzanne and a number of other really awesome folks as well, which was very exciting. So what did I learn having a booth? First and foremost, I want to say, it's kind of funny because I really do pride myself on being the person who likes to keep it simple. But I'll tell you guys, my booth was not simple. We kind of didn't realize until we got there with all of the signage that we had created. First and foremost, we had too many signs to actually fit in our booth, right? And which we didn't really realize until we got there. We had some beautiful signs printed. It was awesome, and they looked wonderful. First and foremost, we got there and we're like, oh, yikes. This is a lot of signage. We don't even know where to put it all, right? There wasn't enough space for it. And alongside that too, though, which I didn't really realize until we kind of saw the booth in action, we had a lot of words on these signs. We had a really great tall sign that talked about, various things that you want to take care of in your business as it applies to systems and team and all of that. We had a really cool little drape on our table. It's sort of like when you looked at our booth, and we'll post a picture here too, you guys, alongside this so you can see what I mean. It was, people didn't know where to look. It was kind of like there was too much to read, if you will. There was too much to read. And it was quite funny because I really do consider myself the simpleton. I'm all about keeping things really simple. And yet once we got the booth set up, it was sort of like, oh, wait a minute. This ain't that simple to look at. And we could tell along the few days there, people would walk by and they would stop and they would almost be like, there's that marketing adage, of course, right? That a confused mind doesn't take action. A confused mind doesn't know what to do. And I found that we kind of inadvertently, I believe, confused people a little bit with our booth and our message and everything that we had there. We were kind of trying to give too much too quickly. So that, of course, was a great lesson to learn, right? I mean, we're actually sponsoring a booth again at Fabienne Fredrickson's Get More Clients event, which is coming up a little bit later on in the month. And I've already changed all our signage and everything for that, right? And we're going simple. We're going simple, folks. So that was one thing that I definitely learned with that. Don't overcomplicate, keep it simple and clean. Make it something people can look at and read and get right away, as opposed to kind of having too much out there, right? So that was definitely something that I learned. The purpose of a booth as well, and this was certainly our intent and part of what we talked about and received, training from the sponsorship team and everything as well, is keep the focus of the event all about gathering leads, right? And so, of course, that really was our intent, and we had some great success gathering leads, meeting people, getting to meet new contacts and such too. But at the same time, what I would also do, and what we plan on doing in the future as well, is, make the first and foremost objective of your booth to gather leads, but also have something available to sell. Right? Because there were people I found that came to the booth who would ideally have liked to have bought something, who would have liked to have purchased something. And I'm not saying selling the great big huge whatever, various things that you offer, but even something simple like a book or a CD or something that they could actually take and walk away with. Right? Because I found that too in some connections and conversations with people that it's almost like they wanted more. They wanted more. They wanted something to really plug into and engage with right then and there, and we just didn't have it. Quite honestly, we didn't have anything to offer them. So that's another thing I would look at. I mean, the purpose and the best value of having a booth like this or doing a sponsorship like this is to be able to gather leads, but also look to have something to sell. and of course you need to get approval and all that other kind of stuff in most scenarios when you're doing that. So just be aware of that. But definitely something I would look at as well too. Another lesson, have something fun to give away to people. We actually gave away our lovely little squeezy head guy. And here, I'll squeeze him for you so you can hear what he says.
Calm down now. Don't stress. Take it easy.
He says, relax, calm down now, don't stress, take it easy, right? And I thought he was going to be a hoot, because I'll tell you, I don't want another pen. I don't want a calendar. For me personally, when I attend trade shows and things and I get stuff from people, honestly, there's been times where I've received things from people and I just leave them in the hotel because I don't want them, and I thought it would be really fun. And of course, part of my business and part of my goal overall is to hopefully help people not look like this when they're working in their business and not get to the point where they're pulling their hair out and continually stressed and everything, right? Systems, team, all of that proper support and structure in your business. A big part of that is to be able to actually enjoy your business and not have it suck the life out of you, ultimately. So it was a great fit for our booth and for our message, and just a lot of fun. People love these things. People love these things. Again, if you're going to see me at a future booth, if you see me, for example, at Fabienne's event, the Get More Clients event here coming up in a few weeks, you will be able to get one of these too. They're a lot of fun. I've already had people emailing me saying, I've been using it. I've been squeezing it. Someone had asked me, can I throw it at somebody when I'm mad at them? It's like, oh, well, hopefully not, because it has my name on the back. I don't want to get into any trouble, right? But it was a lot of fun, and it was a great kind of conversation starter. It was a great way to connect with people at the booth as well, too. Definitely. And, overall, having a booth is also a really good way to connect. This event, the Be the Change event, there was over 600 people there, right? And anyone who's been to a larger event like that, especially when there's people you want to connect with and you want to reach out to them ahead of time, you can say to them, or you ran into them in the hallway, or, hey ladies, those bathroom conversations and such that we know happen. You can say to people, instead of like, oh my gosh, let's find each other later. It's like, hey, come and find me at my booth. I'm in booth X. Come and find me, come and see me. I want to make sure we connect there, right? It gives you a really tangible location, if you will, to be able to connect with people and, of course, take those connections further in whatever way, shape, or form, right? So I really enjoyed that aspect of it as well, too. And bottom line, you guys, really, it can be tiring. I'm not going to pretend otherwise, because we were there from essentially 7 in the morning. We started with the booth through till, depending on the evening, like 9 or 10 at night, right? Along with attending the conference and everything that went on there, too. So it's not, it certainly can be tiring. And we went into that knowing that there was going to be a lot of time and energy required. But myself and my OBM Tiffany, who was with me, bottom line is we had a lot of fun. We really did have a lot of fun. So it was tiring, and it was certainly some work. And more importantly, though, it was just a lot of fun to be able to connect with people face to face, have conversations, and all of that fun stuff. And I'll tell you guys too, one of, I think, my biggest benefits, which was not something that I went into this looking for, but as I mentioned already with my first point, our signage and everything was a little confusing. Our message was a little confusing. When we were talking to people, I didn't feel like we had totally landed on what it was, if you will. And this is something that I've been kind of working towards in this new division of our business for a while now. And I'll tell you, the day after, it just clicked, it hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is our new brand. I know exactly what it is. It really, and it was quite honestly a duh moment, because it's something that's been there all along. Isn't that the way it always seems to go? It's quite funny. I love that when things happen that way. But had I not been at this event, had I not been having conversations with people and talking to people and getting to know where they're at and all of that kind of stuff, I wouldn't have had this click moment, essentially. That happened the day after. That happened the day after the conference when I was on my flights on the way home, right? So for that, I'm extra thrilled too, right? Because that's something I've been kind of working towards and looking for and such for quite a while now. Too. So that was extra awesome as well. So by all means, if you're considering doing a booth, sponsoring an event, whatever that might be, just wanted to share some of my experience and tips and tricks and all of that fun stuff as to what that was there. And again, hopefully I'll see you at a future conference, a future booth. You'll probably find me at a booth in some way, shape, or form. So until next time, take care, everybody. Bye now.